Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Kenchapar, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Government First Grade College, Sirsi. Today, let us start a chapter Analytical Chemistry. In this session, we are going to discuss about the chromatography. In that definition, principle of chromatography, terminology which are involved in this chromatography, classification of chromatography. In that classification and in this session we are going to discuss about the column chromatography in that principle and applications. Let us see what is chromatography. Introduction. It is nothing but a separation technique in which separation of a mixture of components into its individual components by an equilibrium distribution between two phases, that is a mobile phase and a stationary phase. And this technique was invented by a Russian botanist M. Sweat in the year 1906. And this is a Greek terminology, chromatography, and it means chromo means color and graph means writing. Sweat was successful in separating xanthophyll and chlorophyll and various other colored components through a column of calcium carbonate by percolating the extracts of vegetables. The column which Sweat used acted as an adsorbent and the various substances got adsorbed to different positions on the column. It termed the system of color bands as chromatogram, and this technique is known as a chromatography. Coming to the principle of chromatography, the samples are subjected to flow by mobile liquid or gas through the stable stationary phase. Then the sample components are separated into fractions based on their relative affinity towards the two phases during their travel. The fraction with greater affinity to stationary phase obviously travels slower and shorter distance, while that of a with less affinity component travels faster and longer. Let us see some of the terminologies which are involved in this chromatography. First one, stationary phase. As we have discussed that stationary phase is nothing but a solid or a liquid phase of a chromatography system on which the materials to be separated are selectively adsorbed. What is mobile phase then? It is nothing but a liquid or gas that flow through the chromatography system, moving the materials to be separated at different rates over the stationary phase. What is an analyte? It is nothing but a substance to be separated during chromatography separations. Elution. It is a process of removing adsorbed material from the stationary phase by the movement of a mobile phase. Eluent. Eluent is nothing but a solvent that carries an analyte. What is an eluate? It is a liquid solution that is result from the elution. When we get the elution at the end of the column, we are going to get a solution. That solution is nothing but a eluate. Another important term, that is a retention time. The time interval between its injection onto a column and the appearance of its peak at the other end of the column is known as retention time. What is counter current chromatography? It is a type of liquid-liquid chromatography where both the phases, that is a mobile phase as well as the stationary phase, are liquid only. What is chromatogram? It is a graphical representation formed on the adsorbent medium by the layers of components separated by chromatography. This is what is called as chromatogram. Adsorbent. It is a substance in which it is porous in nature with high surface area that can absorb substances onto its surface. Example for adsorbents what we are using in this chromatography techniques are sucrose, starch, calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, activated alumina, salicylic acid, etc. Let us see what is adsorbent. It is nothing but a substance that is adsorbed on surface of another substance. That is what is called adsorbent. Example, hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen. Common solvents. What are the common solvents we are going to use in this chromatography? Means petroleum ether, cyclohexane, carbon tetrachloride, chloroform, ethanol, ethyl acetate, acetone, methanol, water, etc. These solvents are arranged in the increasing order of polarity. Coming to the types of chromatography. These types are classified based on the nature of stationary as well as mobile phase used. We can observe 9 types of chromatography technique. First one is column or liquid solid chromatography, or it is also known as column adsorption chromatography. In this case, stationary phase is a solid whereas mobile phase is a liquid. Second one, liquid or partition chromatography. In this case, both the phases, that is a stationary phase as well as mobile phases, are liquid. Coming to the third one, that is a paper chromatography. Paper chromatography, here also we can see both the stationary as well as mobile phases are liquid. And the fourth one, that is a thin layer chromatography. In this thin layer chromatography, the stationary phase is solid or liquid and the mobile phase is liquid. Next one, gas liquid chromatography and gas solid chromatography. In gas liquid chromatography, the name itself tells that the stationary phase is a liquid whereas mobile phase is a gas. In gas solid chromatography, here the stationary phase is solid and the mobile phase is gas. Next one, ion exchange chromatography. In this ion exchange chromatography, the stationary phase is solid and the mobile phase is liquid. In the gel permeation or size exclusion chromatography, the stationary phase is a solid matrix whereas mobile phase is a liquid. And the next one, and the important one, that is a high performance liquid chromatography, HPLC. Here the stationary phase is a solid and the mobile phase is liquid. Let us discuss about the column chromatography, or it is also known as column adsorption chromatography. It is a technique which is used to separate a single chemical compound from the mixture dissolved in a suitable fluid. It separates substances based on differential adsorption of compounds to the adsorbent as the compounds move through the column at different rates, which allow them to get separated into fractions. This method is also called as column adsorption chromatography. Coming to the principle of this column chromatography, the mixture that needs to be separated is introduced from the top of the column. The movement of the individual components of the mixture is at different rates. The components with lower adsorption and affinity towards the stationary phase obviously travel faster when compared to greater adsorption and affinity with stationary phase. The component which has greater adsorption and affinity it will be stick on to the stationary phase, so that components that move fast are removed first, whereas the components that move slowly are eluted out last. The rate of movement of the components is expressed as follows, that is a retention factor or retardation factor. It is defined as the ratio of distance traveled by the solute to the distance traveled by the solvent. The success of column chromatography separation depends on some of the factor. How can we succeed in this column chromatography means it depends on some of the factors. In that, first one is nature of the adsorbent, which type of adsorbent you are going to take. And the second one, nature of the solvent used to elute the sample. Whether it is a high polar, low polar solvent, it also depends. And the rate of flow of solvent through the column. It also depends on rate of flow of solvents, whether it is moving faster or slower. And the next one is temperature, at what temperature you are going to operate the column. It's also important factor. And the next one is geometry of that column containing adsorbent sample, eluent sample. Now let us see which type of stationary phase we are using in this column chromatography. As we have discussed, this stationary phase is nothing but a porous in nature with high surface area, adsorb substances onto its surface, and it should meet the condition given below. First one is shape and size of the particle. It should be uniform shape, that size of the particle, size and shape of the particle, it should be uniform shape and size in the range of 60 to 200 micron in diameter. Second one, stability and inertness of particles. It should be high mechanical stability, it should have high mechanical stability, and it should be a chemical inert. That means it should not react with acids or bases or any other solvents which we are going to use in this technique. It should be colorless, inexpensive and readily available. It should allow free flow of mobile phase. And the next one, it should be suitable for the separation of mixture of various compounds. Mobile phase, it is nothing but a solvent or eluting agent. The solvent employed in chromatography technique for separation is also called as the eluate, what we have discussed in the previous slides. Solvent may be the same throughout the technique, or it may be different at different stages and for different components of the mixture. Depending upon the polarity of the components, we have to change the solvents. So while choosing the eluting agent or solvents, we have to consider some of the points. What are those? Let us see. First one, it should be suitable, it should have suitable viscosity, it should be stable and comparability with the detection. And it should solubility with respect to the sample, and it should have some suitable purity. And the next one, it should have maximum resolution for the separation of sample in reasonable time. Coming to the preparation of column and separation of components from mixture by using a column chromatography. Here, the length of the column is around 25 to 50 centimeter long, class 2. Initially, that column has to clean with chromic acid and then it has to wash with distilled water. And this process consists of the following steps. The first one is preparation of the column. This is the first step of the column chromatography technique. we have to place the column in a ring stand in vertical position, and a plug of a glass spool is pushed down towards the bottom of the column. Next one is we have to prepare a silica gel. This silica gel I have to prepare it by using suitable solvents, so that after the preparation of the slurry of silica gel, we have to pour the slurry of silica gel gently into the column. Then open the stopcock and allow some solvent to drain out. The layer of the solvent should always cover the adsorbent. Otherwise, some cracks will appear in the column. For that reason, the layer of the solvent should always cover the adsorbent. Next step is adding the sample to the column. Dissolve the sample mixture in a minimum amount of solvent. It may be a petroleum ether or ethyl acetate or some other suitable solvent. And then remove the solvent by placing the mixture in a roto-evaporator at a low temperature. Place the dry powder on a piece of weighing paper and transfer it into the top of the column through the funnel. By using a funnel, we have to transfer the dried powder into the column. Next step is developing the chromatogram. Attach a dropping funnel filled with solvent, it may be a petroleum ether, onto the column. Add that solvent continuously from the column. Open the stopcock carefully. The components of the mixture, what we are dissolved in the solvents, run down the column forming separate color of bands. It may be yellow or pink or some other green color also. So here, in order to avoid the formation of air bubbles inside the column is always kept covered with the eluent throughout the process of separation. Recovering the constituents. This is an important step. And the last step, see, after all those three steps, continue running the petroleum ether till all the bands are eluted out separately. If you get 2 bands, we have to separate 2 bands separately. If it is a 3 bands, we have to separate 3 bands separately. Collect the constituents in different beakers or by using a RB flask also. Next step is evaporate the solvent by placing the mixture in a rotary evaporator. After all the solvent is evaporated, the nature of the compound will be in the powder form like we have shown in the picture. So likewise, we can separate the components in a mixture into their individual one by using this column chromatography. Applications of column chromatography. It is a very helpful in separation of mixture of compounds, and this technique is used to determine drug estimation from drug formulations. This technique is used to remove impurities, and this technique is used to isolate metabolites from biological fluids. It is also used to separate diastereomers and geometrical isomers and to isolate racemate. This technique has been used, and the isolation of end product in organic synthesis, this column chromatography is very much helpful. So coming to the revision, what we have discussed in this session, we have discussed chromatography. In that we have discussed introduction of chromatography, what is chromatography, who has invented this chromatography, and principle of chromatography, and what are the terminologies which are involved in this chromatography. And also we have discussed types of chromatography, We have seen many types in this chromatography. In that, we have discussed the column or adsorption chromatography. In that, we have discussed the principle of column chromatography, preparation of column and separation of components from the mixtures, and we have also discussed applications of column chromatography. And these are some of the references what I have referred for this session. Thank you.